G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We're here on a brand new patch, watching a brand new game on the brand new expansion. I tell you what, there's been so much brand new happening around here lately. I'm excited, you're excited, let's get into it. In the north of the map, in the color purple, playing as the Byzantines, it's Crackety here. And on the south side of the map, by popular demand in the color teal, playing as the Japanese, he's back. It's rolling. Oh yeah, we got him back. Keep rolling. Rolling, rolling, roll. All right, that's enough. Watch the DMCA, Drongo. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We got Roland back here. I saw there were so many comments saying, Drongo, we loved Roland. We loved how he rolled. And I said, you know what? I like how he rolls as well. So we're going to get him back. We're going to get him up against one of our boys, one of our bad boys here, Crackety here. Well, we got ourselves two heavyweights, the Japanese, the Byzantines, the two title cards, I guess call it the title cards for the new expansion. And we've already got a bit of an interesting opening. Have a look at this. This is always an indicator for me. Whenever I'm playing against the Japanese and I see people opening on gold, I'm like, oh, you're going for a fast castle, are you? And then it's like, oh, actually, Drongo, you're playing against a blonde. You're playing against a blonde player, Drongo. They all open with 3 villages on gold. I was going to say a bronze player, but anyway, look. We got the system coming down for Crackety here. I'm curious to see exactly what his plans are for this game because the map gorge is a little bit different. The map gorge, it's very open. Now, often, whenever you spawn in on a map, you're tucked away in these corners, and often people forget that. You're playing Dry Arabia, you're going to spawn down here. You can see it's a little bit further away. Your opponent, instead of spawning here, is going to spawn a little bit up the hill, and that just increases that distance on those maps. Whereas here, you're a little bit closer, and not only that, but you've got a very open alleyway towards your opponent, which naturally means aggressive plays are going to get rewarded on this map. Now, this map is also a little bit harder to wall. The wood line starts at the back and works its way up towards this position. Town centers here means that you can't cross through with the scout, but also means you can't wall to it. One of the common things that we see on maps like Dry Arabia, even though it's a really open map, are those wood lines towards the front. So it naturally means that you've got an aggressive game when it comes to gorge. So I'm looking forward to it. Now, in saying that, don't expect for there to be no walls here. There are going to be walls. There are always walls on gorge because it is relatively easy to wall compartmentalize the map. You can quite often wall from tree line, connect the dots. You can see it on the mini-map, the way that you do it. You go here to here to here to here to here, oh, and then you draw a little starfish. There you go. You get it? Starfish, chocolate, starfish. Anyway, maybe you'll get it if you're a 90s kid. If you weren't a 90s kid, you probably would just be wondering, what the hell is Drongo going on about with chocolate starfish? What is it? Chocolate starfish and hot dog flavored water. Oh man, that takes you back, doesn't it? That's a little hit of a nostalgia, man. Where were you when you heard Limp Bizkit's song rolling? Where were you? For me, it was, I think I was at my dad's house watching video hits on a Sunday morning. Must have been about 8:30 in the morning, and they were playing it down. There it was. I was going to say rank 16 on the ladder. It's not rank 16. What was it? Like you know how they do the countdowns? Man, I don't know about you, but I used to love that stuff as a kid. I used to just wake up and watch the music videos. That was so much fun. Anyway, we got age ups on the way through. Hippodrome in the north, Kura Storehouse on the south, and still players looking. Yep, that's a castle. That's a castle age right there. Players putting down outposts on gold is a great sign that they're going to be going towards castle age. Often what we'd see for Japanese players is they'd look to put a forge down early on their stone outcropping, and then they'd be collecting stone either for their town center upgrades, so going into the Daimyo Manor, or moving into that second TC, which is quite a common opening, a very safe opening as well. Compare that over to Crackety, though. He's only got a handful of vills back here. We're right on board with him as he is going to scout this out. Now, he sees this immediately. I'm curious what his response is going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a switcheroo of villagers here. I'm curious to see whether he even gets a single horseman out here, because there's a part of me that just thinks he won't even bother doing it, because you see this underneath here. You know you're up, like, these guys are both Conqueror 3 players, right? You're up against a very good player here. He's not going to drop the ball when it comes to villagers under an outpost. So why even bother? And at this stage of the game, it looks like Crackety is going to definitely be taking that opinion. He's just chilling out at the moment. He's got level 3 Byzantine systems, aka networks, coming up here. Not doing too bad with the sheep. Only a handful of those bad boys left. 4 of them to go. and a lumber camp going to get thrown up at the back, but still just the 2 villagers back here. Now, for me, if I spotted my opponent doing this, I would probably be thinking about going Castle Age myself. I like my Castle Age. I think my Castle Age is really good. Is it better than the Japanese Castle Age, though? Probably not. And I think that's the problem, right? Like, Japanese Castle Age is incredible because of the Mounted Samurai. Mounted Samurai is amazing. It is a unit that allows you to engage whenever you want, and then when you engage, you take reduced damage, and it's especially good against other knights, other mounted units, because it absorbs the charge. And often if you're playing against the French, if they absorb the charge, then you don't get the extra damage that comes out after the charge. For all the other civilizations, it's just not, you know, they don't do that big hit. So it makes it a little bit harder, but I guess realistically, if I'm in Crackety's position, I think for me the big focus here is getting a level 4 system network. That's probably a big thing. So getting that up to level 4 will be quite important. Getting the Castle Age, and then looking to play a bit more of a standard style. So I think probably going into Lametanai crossbow, maybe Lametanai together with longbows mixed in as well. So going for like those 3 units, and then from there, you know, mixing in siege whenever you need to. But you don't want to be too active with your siege against the Japanese. They are particularly notorious at dealing with siege. I tell you what, I mean, I played one game against, you guys know Duyakusi. We sometimes cast his games. He's a pretty good player, I think Conqueror 3 as well. And I was playing against him, absolutely destroyed him the whole game. And then got to the Imperial Age, as you do, against the Japanese. And what he did is he put a Yorishiro in a siege workshop. And I couldn't push him, man. Every single time I'd go to push him, he would just have like 7 Springles. And it's like, how do I push this? Like, he just makes them so quickly. And, you know, I would kill them all, and then there they are. And as soon as he would have a siege advantage, he'd just be like, oh, I've got a siege advantage. Then there were 5 mangonels. It's like, how was he making all this stuff so quickly? And it's because of the Yorishiro. The Yorishiro is what allows that to happen. Cute little deer push coming in from Roland. Not going to find too much success here. Plenty of the deer did get put down. But realistically, I mean, these are deers, right? Or deer. It's not going to be a huge issue for you to be doing this, right? Like, this is absolutely fine. Crackety, he's absolutely happy with this. Looks like we've got the floating gate coming down and a stable thrown down immediately. So my expectation from Roland is going to be that the first Yorishiro will go into the stable, and then the Shinto priest will probably look to come out onto the map. I think in this situation, considering your opponent hasn't made any units, you could actually look to pick up the relic and then take the sacred site immediately, then bring the relic back. I think that would be a really smart move from Roland. So we'll see if he looks to do that. Now, keep in mind, he has picked up Takazuki. He has picked up his level 2 upgrade. So still has Furusashi, but main focus early on is going to be getting on this stable. Nice little timing coming through for him here. This has been a bit more of an eco-focused opening, just because he's gone into the 2 wheelbarrows. But have a look at this. He's got 5 farms here. He's not actually taking them. I guess he doesn't actually have his daimyo mana just up at this stage of the game. Lumbercamp going to come down for him. Yorishiro going to be placed in. Yeah, you can see. Oh, look at this. Look at this. We got some beautiful rally points coming in. He's going to actually take the furthest relic and walk himself back. Look at that. That's actually awesome. Let's watch this, because this, if it works, it should just work perfectly. But he's bringing the relic back to here. He's not bringing the relic back to the floating gate. In, out, boom, done. 2 mounted samurai in queue, and that's why Japanese Fast Castle is legit, ladies and gentlemen. That is beautiful to see. Chef's kiss. Let's check in on his opponent, Crackety here. A little bit slower on the age up, and we see it's going to be a barracks, an archery range, and a mercenary house thrown down. So going to be focusing on that infantry side of thing. This is where it's kind of like Hippodrome. It seems okay, but then it's like, I think the Grand Winery definitely would have been the right choice here. So maybe, look, it's one of those things where he can only really assess that once he spots his opponent so heavily on gold with that outpost. That outpost was the giveaway, and by that time, he's already made the decision, I'm going Hippodrome. So I guess you'd rather be in the late game with the Hippodrome than without it. So it naturally makes sense to go into it. But I'd love to see if Roland's going to stop on this sacred site. I think this is totally something that he could do here. As we can see, you know, the Lametanai is coming out here. He will stand on it, but it doesn't look like it will be captured. And Lametanai is moving out. Mounted Samurai now coming through here. Lametanai just going to cross its path. They're going to do that meme. I don't remember what the meme's from. It's from a movie of some sort, but they're in the car, in the back of the car, and the guy's looking at the girl's looking at the guy, and they're like, what? But, oh no. You guys know what I'm talking about. How did villagers... Oh, this isn't the first... Okay, I'm a little bit blind. Excuse me. They came out so quickly. You guys understand, right? Like, they came out so quickly, I didn't even realize the mounted samurais were on the field. He's already killed 2 workers. Oh my lord, man. He is quick, isn't he? Villagers up to the north. They've already been spotted. Crackety, unfortunately, thinks he's absolutely safe. He's like, this guy's Yeah, he's a little bit silly. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Oh, he knows. He knows exactly what you're up to. Now, round the back of the base, though. +1 ranged armor yet to come through. Expect to see it shortly. Remember, he doesn't need to make the blacksmith because he's already got the forge out. So expect to see iron undermesh coming through soon. We'll find those villagers. We'll take them out. He's up to 4 worker kills now. And what does he look to go into when it comes to the Golden Horn Tower? He's gone into Keshiks, of all things. Doesn't look to go into the longbows. Instead, going to be playing a little bit more of a cavalry-oriented game. And it is going to be crossbow Lametanai. Does lose a couple here. I know I got to work out my pronunciation on the Lametanai. Nice job on the crossbow micro. Does manage to keep it alive. But the numbers here are pretty good in his opponent's favor. But Roland just going to roll on out of there. Up to 5 mounted samurai now in this position. Keep in mind, he's got more towards that top side, and he's doing such a good job of controlling the map. Exactly what you want to be doing with this quick age up. And now, take a look at this. We've got your second Yorishiro out with the Shinto priest here. Looks like he's going to be throwing it in the archery range, and look what he's doing. He's actually collecting the relics in the base instead of putting them in the Shinto shrine. I'm a big fan of this. I think this is 100% the right call. It just makes so much sense. Instead of waiting around for something like the Shinto shrine, you can just throw them down on the ground, come back to it later. Nice little job pushing away a couple of these villagers. And manages to cop one of them as well. And the mounted samurai will take a fair bit of damage. Might have to think about running a route back to base here. You can see those relics are being picked up. And now that's going to be 3 picked up now for Roland. He's got a 7 villager lead. Now, keep in mind, he has taken out 6 workers. So I don't know where he's found that 7th one at. But look, it's been a tough game for Crackety. And I think the big thing here is the lack of walls, right? Like, you can really feel it, how important walls would have been. It's hard though, right? It's really hard in this map. It's so open to get those walls in, but like very obviously you could have a wall that comes from the wood line out to the gold, you know, nice little one like that. Then you could definitely have another wall that comes out. You probably wouldn't want to branch it down too much like that, but you could just bring it out, you know, throw it around up to the stone as an example. That can always be a really nice, not benchmark, but checkpoint for you. And I think that's part of the great reason about the change to walls, is it just allows you to have so many more wallable positions, and it just reduces the amount of wood you have to spend on walls because you can go for safer, smaller walls than what you could before. And look at that repeated aggression on the top side. The fastest castle age, not the fastest, but the strongest castle age. I'm going to pause it right now. I think Japanese castle age might be Japanese fast castle might be one of their best strategies. It is really, really cool to see. And now he's moving into the Onimusha. So ranged crossbow. Well, not ranged crossbow, but mounted crossbow. Looks like the wolf's getting involved as well. Meanwhile, towards that front, look at this. Look at this damage that's coming out. He is cleaning him on every single position. Who is this guy? I gotta be honest with you. This is impressive watching Roland play right now. Plenty more units gonna be coming out. Yorishiro is inside. Look how many units he's got. It's absolutely crazy how aggressive he is. This is absolutely ludicrous. Yorishiro continues. Wait, he's holding a Yorishiro. That's a Yorishiro. That's not a relic. That's a Yorishiro. He's bringing back a Yorishiro. He was like, ladies and gentlemen, I retrieved this from the stealth forest in the north. It was lost, but we found it. The Yorishiro is online. Thank you, friend. Keshiks still yet to get their veterancy at this stage. We can see it's on the way through now, the veteran contract. Crackety, I tell you what, man, it's feeling tough for him. He is down on the villager count, down 12 vills. It's just been an absolute cremation at this point. Like, he's just put him in the... Well, I shouldn't even say that word. That's got some strong meanings to it. But anyway, look, Roland's doing an incredible job at this stage, rolling over the top of his opponent. Now, one of the great things about what he's doing here is by putting the Yorishiro into the production, this is a really smart move, because what it means is in the short term, he's getting huge value from his Yorishiros. Overnight, he goes from 150 wood on the stable to 450 wood immediately. Whereas, like, if you think about that as a relic or as a Yorishiro thrown into a forge, it's going to be 75 gold over the first minute, and you've got to wait a full minute for that. 75 gold over the second, then the third minute, then the fourth minute, and you finally made up that 300 resources. So you've got to wait 4 minutes for that to pay off. Whereas here, he's getting those resources up front immediately. And the great thing about it is he can just delete these buildings to get the Yorishiro out of it. And I know that might seem counterintuitive, but eventually you're going to want to move those out of their buildings, out of their respective buildings. And now our raid coming in on the backside. It looks like a little bit of damage is going to occur here. The Keshiks copping it pretty bad there from the Onimusha. Part of the reason why I was curious that he went into this is the longbows do so well against the Onimusha. I guess we didn't really... I don't know. It's always hard to know what your Japanese opponent will do, right? Because they've got so many options. You obviously open with mounted samurai, but then from there, where do you go? Is another Yorishiro holding Shinto Priest out here? He must have it rallied out here. Yeah, he's still got that same rally point set from the beginning. Very, very cute. Yeah, it's curious to see because they've got so many different options, right? Like you can go Onimusha after the Mounted Samurai, or you can just go into Samurai after the Mounted Samurai, or you can go into, you know, Onibugeisha. But now coming through, looking to pick off some of these. Lametanai will find a pretty decent little spot back here. More villager kills going to be coming through. He's worked his way with a lot of villager kills. Continues to move forward, though. The Keshik numbers are improving. He's picked up veterancy for these guys as well. We see more Gulams are now going to be joining the party as the Golden Horn Tower has now opened up that second level of unique unit. Is it a unique unit? I think it's a unique unit, isn't it? All of them are unique units. Unique, Unique, New York. Unique? Oh, that's tough, isn't it? They always use that in the movies, like, oh, I gotta practice. Unique New York. Unique New York. Wow. Okay. I'm glad I don't have to say that regularly. Keshik's moving into the back of the base, trying to equalize this villager difference. He's up 11 villagers at the moment, Roland is. Needs to try and bring it down. He finds a couple of hardened spearmen on the front. They're going to do a great job of holding the line. Beautiful little shish kebab right there. Unfortunately, it looks like the outpost is going to be in a bit of a tough spot here as the villagers are chased away. He's managed to take out 4 workers so far, but he's used a lot of Keshiks to do it. There's a 5th one for you. Managed to make it back towards I'm clicking this, but it says Daimyo Mena. That's not correct. It's the Kura storehouse. Why did, oh, it must have been, maybe I was selecting both of them? I don't know what happened there. That was a bit weird. It looked like I was selecting the Kura storehouse, but the Daimyo Mena was the UI I was getting. Anyway, so now we start to see those walls, and it's big walls, right? Like these are big, inspirational, chunky walls that are starting to come up across the map. They're not your small little segmented walls, and this is definitely what is quite common on this map. But now look at the army numbers beginning to build up. This has been a pretty decent performance from Roland. I'm going to be honest, like it has felt one-sided up until this stage of the game. 3rd TC for Crackety, definitely what he needs. I'm going to be honest with you, if there's time to throw a Hail Mary, it's now. The problem is, he hasn't gone into Longbow. And if ever you're looking to play a TC-oriented game, Longbow makes so much sense, just because they're really capable defenders. You're always able to keep them underneath the town center and just boom it away. That's why I really feel like going into that Western Mercenary contract could have been a good option for him, but you can see he's outnumbered by quite a bit here. Moving into Varangian, Gulams back here. I think we see a Varangian guard mixed in as well, but even at this point, you're massing up Lametanai. I feel like you're probably going to have a tough time against this army. The Onimusha are powerful, and you can see he's trying to bait back the cavalry towards the edge of the map so he can maximize his reinforcements here. Gulams have come in, but Roland's not going to take the bait at this stage. Have a look at the army value difference. Now, I don't think that's 100% accurate. I don't know exactly how it's calculating it, but I'm pretty confident it's not double, considering these guys are pretty close to even Stevens at the moment. I mean, the Mounted Samurai is good. Actually, it might actually be close to double. We can't even... Okay, Lametanai doesn't appear. Fair enough. There you go. Talk about a game-breaking bug right there. Phew, how is unplayable? Unplayable. Lametanai only 90 resources up against the Mounted Samurai, which I think is 250 resources, if I remember correctly. So perhaps that is indeed the way. But now Crackety getting kited by his opponent. Doesn't even have the opportunity to pop the shield wall. And this is where longbows would be absolutely clutch in this situation. Going to continue to struggle as his opponent just whittles away the units. You can feel like... I feel Crackety being demoralized at this point. Like, you can't even touch your opponent's army. Sacred Site's being taken behind it. I don't know who Roland is, but he is rolling his way up the leaderboard. That is for sure. After this performance, like, watching this, I feel like I'm watching a Vortex or Lucifron game. Like, it really feels like that. But I don't know, maybe that could be a credit to Roland and his Limb Biscuit heritage, or maybe that's just a credit to the Japanese and just how good this civilization is and this strategy that he's worked in. Bannerman now starting to come through as well. Going to be looking for Uma Bannerman, going to be looking for all 4 of them, in fact. Katana Bannerman coming through as well. Does now have the ranged one out as well, the Yumi Bannerman. But a couple of units might go down here. He's managed to pick off a couple. One does get the skewer through on 2 of them. And now you can see just how important having those longbows are in this situation. It would be a completely different ball game here, but the Mangonels are out. And the Mangonel is going to be the cherry on top. We'll head into the cinematic mode right now because it looks like it's that classic case in the locker room. One person wants to fight, the other one doesn't, but he's been pushed into a corner, and now he's got no choice. You got to defend yourself here, Crackety. You can't allow these punches to go on undefended, and Crackety turns around and looks to swing one back. The Mangonel going to fire off again into the kidneys. Manages to come up a little bit short. The Onimusha on the top side doing a decent job here. Couple units on the back, sieging up the mill, doing a fair bit of damage here. Always feels good when that's going to work. But Crackety, it looks like the numbers are starting to fall. He's got reinforcements on his side, but villagers getting pulled here could work. All sacred sites have now been taken. The Onimusha coming into the base, and Crackety's villagers are now under threat. Outpost was going to be coming up. Keep in mind, he's got 3 TCs online, so if he can Oh, I forgot about that. You've got real elevation right there. The Mangonel is just going to shoot directly into the into the aqueduct. That's quite funny. All right, the Onimusha cleaning up the villagers at this stage towards that top side. A single spearman working it down. It's 3 against 37. Crackety does have the villager advantage, but even then, the Banaman's up here. He's taken out 35 workers this game. This has just been an absolute insane performance that we've witnessed here from Roland today. Like, this is just a whole nother level of domination. Now, keep in mind, Crackety's good. He is really good. He is top 20. That's how good he is. And he's playing the Byzantines fresh off their new buff. Remember, they've got that extra 50 stone, and he's playing a style of Byzantines that is very strong. He's one of the best players in the world, in the top 20, easily. And Roland, quite literally, rolls over the top of him. Not even close. Look at this. The 4th Yorishiro. He's actually collected them all. This is like Pokemon that has just gone to the next level. All 4 Yorishiro inside production buildings. This is next level Japanese fast castles. And now he's going to pump battering rams towards his opponent. 1 battering ram every 13 seconds. Look at the resources in the bank. I haven't even switched them over. Apologies. We're at the 21-minute mark. I've been too caught up over here on Roland, rolling his opponent out. Still at this stage, though, Crackety, he's down to 42 workers. We do see he's got Gulams in queue. Mangonelli placement, so we know he's still there. He's trying to find a way back into the game. Olive Grove going to come up. Vils pop inside. And now the veteran spearmen are going to work to try and take down the Olive Groves. What's Crackety? What is he aware of? What does he know that we don't know? Because right now I feel like this game is over. And I'm sure you probably feel the same way. Second TC has been added in for his opponent. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at that. Oh god. Oh, the Shogunate Castle's here as well. We gotta get a picture of this. This one's going on the thumbnail. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a representation of what might be one of the most beautiful fast castle strategies we've ever seen coming out of the Japanese. This is something next level. It just gives you huge flexibility. He's got barely any production behind this. Have a look at this. 2 barracks, which, by the way, one of them's under construction. Literally 4 production buildings. That's it. Right here on your screen, all with a Yorishiro inside. And he just sits on this. This is 300, 600, 900, 1,200 woods worth. Actually, this is worth a little bit more. This is actually 600 woods. Actually, that's a good point. Siege Workshop gets mad value because it's 300 wood, not 150 wood like the other ones. So you're talking 300, 600, 900, 1,500 wood, 1,500 woods worth. There we go. Finally got it out. Woods worth of production. That is absolutely ludicrous. That's kind of crazy to think about coming from a landmark in the Castle Age, but look, I guess at the end of the day, on the other side, you've got 12 villager equivalent here. Mangonel, oh, okay, he's going into the Gulams with the Mangonel, but his opponent's now double the military count, or double the villager count, rather. Quintuple, 10 times. 10 times the military count. 10 times the military count, rather. And now Keshik's coming through, getting eaten alive, up against a double unit composition here that counters it. The Spearmen together with the Banaman. The Onimusha. And now we hear those battering rams making connections. I don't know exactly where that battering ram is, but I heard the sound, or at least I thought I heard the sound. There, oh, there they are, underneath the outposts, working their magic. Mangonel is down, and the Gulams trying to defend. The villager's going to get pulled. He knows if there's a will, there's a way. Crackety looking to stick it. I feel like I'm watching a beastie game in the grand final right now. He fights until the very end. He never gives up. He never surrenders. Even when the last villager is being slaughtered, he says to himself, there is still a chance. Maybe he knows there's not a chance. Maybe he's just looking to try and draw the energy levels of his opponent down a little bit. Try and really force that loss of mood. But I don't think this is a tournament game. I'm pretty sure this is just a ranked ladder match. But, I mean, at this point in the game, it's pretty much well and truly over. Now, I don't know if Roland streams, but I know Crackety does. So make sure you go and check him out. I'll leave a link down in the description. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this game. It was pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. That was an incredible Japanese strategy. So make sure you go check out Crackety, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.